What's going on, y'all? This is my videography photography setup for 2025. Let's get right in the video. So basically what I do everything with and what I've been shooting with for the past, I don't know, year and a half is a Sony a7 IV. I do photography and video on this. It's great at being able to do both. You can switch back and forth between the two very easily, and it can shoot up to 4K 60, which is cropped, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's still an amazing camera for what you pay for. And then being able to also get good quality photos on it on the same camera without having to switch cameras on your side, grab it out of your backpack, that sort of thing is just super convenient. If I were to buy a new camera today, it would either be an FX3 or an FX6. What's nice is, like, versus a FX6, you might get some internal body image stabilization, and you won't get that on the FX6, so this is a nice camera to have for that reason, but still, you get the internal NDs on the FX6, and I think you can shoot up to like 4K 120 or 4K 240, I don't know, something like that. But that camera's more expensive, obviously. So this is just a really nice camera to have right now, and I'm super glad I invested the money in it, and I've been able to do a lot of different projects with it, just kind of like a wide range of stuff. I've done sports, I've done client videos, and obviously photos. So super nice camera, and I'm really happy to have it. The main two lenses, or actually really the only two lenses I use on this camera, is this 35mm prime lens, which I'm probably gonna switch out. Right now I'm shooting on my iPhone, I'm probably gonna switch this out at some point, just so the rest of the video looks cleaner. But I use this 35mm prime lens. It's amazing, get a lot of crispy shots with it, and always get some like nice bokeh in the background with a nice shallow depth of field. So that's super awesome to have. And it was like only like $350 for a super good looking lens. So very affordable, and definitely recommend it if you're looking just to have a nice standout look in your videos. That lens is definitely affordable to be able to do that. Another lens I use is, I always forget if it's an 11mm or 12mm. 12mm prime lens, which is, oh, I forgot to mention, this is a f1.8 prime lens, and on the 35mm. And for the 12mm, it's, I believe f2. Yeah, f2. So this is super nice. Also being able to get awesome shots with this. What I like to do with this wide lens is when I have this on my camera and on the gimbal, be able to get some nice smooth shots moving around. I'm also able to do that with the 35mm, but this wide lens, super cool, makes everything look cinematic, whatever. And also, like, these wide lenses, I feel like are becoming even more trendy nowadays for whatever reason. So this is also a nice pickup, and I think I actually got this as a gift used, but it looks amazing, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's used. Another amazing piece of equipment I use is this DJI Mini 3 Pro. It's an amazing drone, and I would say it's affordable for drones if you're putting in that category. I believe around like $600 with the remote control that doesn't have the monitor on it. So what I have to do is like hook up my phone on the top of this remote, and then you're able to see the live feed on your phone. So that's a little bit of a downside. I feel like if I were to invest in the one with the monitor, I would, but then again, it's just more money. But you're able to get some really nice looking shots with this drone, and I don't know the exact specs of it off the top of my head. And you can kind of tell, like, the megapixels on the camera aren't like the best they could be. It's super handy to have this on shoots, just being able to get a different perspective, get a different angle, and anything that you're shooting, if you have a drone, is gonna look even better. It's a way to take your videos to another level. So being able to have this is awesome. One of my most recent purchases that I've made is this SD card. You might not think it's expensive as it looks, because it's just like another SD card. But this thing, I believe it's the 80 gigabyte version, and it reads at 800 megabytes per second, and it writes at 700 megabytes per second, which is crazy fast. If you have an a7 IV, if you have a Sony, if you're looking or getting into a Sony, basically this thing unlocks the full capabilities of your camera. Because if you've got like a standard SD card, like a 250 megabyte per second write card, whatever, that is not going to write data fast enough onto your card if you're shooting at like 4K, 422, 10-bit. So if you want to get the most out of your camera, I definitely recommend buying a card like this. It's very choice.
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
And if you buy that card, you're probably gonna want this Express card reader. This thing transfers data onto your computer extremely fast. I was just testing it for a shoot a few weeks ago. Put the card in, I think I had like 20 to 30 gigabytes of footage. Popped the card in this, plugged into my computer, copied everything over onto my computer in like, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, something like that. Or maybe it wasn't that fast, but it was way faster than anything I've ever seen before. So if you buy this tough SD card, you're probably gonna want this as well. And especially if you're someone who's running and gunning, whether it's sports or whatever it may be, this will transfer data over to your computer extremely fast. Definitely wanna purchase this, which is also expensive. This is like $180 and this is $120. It's just like, you're just spending money on everything. Another nice pickup I have are these mics, which case is empty because I'm wearing one, the receiver's on there, and I'm charging the other transmitter, but those mics are really nice to use. It sounds decent. I think the package was like $200. For the price, that's not that bad of sound quality. You see on TikTok like $10 mics, and I invested in these like when I bought the camera, so they're nice for the price that they are, but I probably wouldn't buy them again just because the sound quality isn't amazing. And I've also had some issues with like interference at times, but they get the job done. If you are doing something like this, you're in your house recording, basically if you're in an environment that isn't super noisy or super crazy, they're really nice to use. Another couple things I have for my camera is just this little handle. I'll throw this on top of my camera and you can kind of get some like low angle shots, kind of like holding it like this. It just makes for a handy tool if you need it. But this is also expensive, small rig, whatever it was, yeah. But it has a nice little Allen wrench attachment on there, which is super handy, which is cool if you need to take off your cage and your camera, take off this actual piece itself. And I also bought this not too long ago. This is an attachment to put on my camera or my camera cage, and you can kind of like slide your phone on this right here, and basically you can shoot on your camera and shoot on your phone simultaneously, whether it's like, so if you want it to be vertical, you can have your phone on like that, or you can just turn it and then you'll be shooting horizontal on your camera. Last but not least is my DJI Ronin RSC2. I bought this used off of a friend for 300 bucks, and it's honestly great for that price. Able to get some good looking shots with it. It's definitely like bumpy if you're moving fast, if you're running. It's definitely not something you'd want to be using for like a steady cam, but it gets the job done, and I'm able to do some like cool like hyperlapse looking videos with it when I have my camera on. So that is just like another tool you can have in your bag if you have something like this, or just a gimbal in general. It's not to die, like you don't need to have it, I would say, but you can definitely up your game if you have something like this, do creative, cool looking shots. And like I was saying earlier, once I put the wide lens on my camera, throw that on the gimbal, it just makes for some awesome looking shots. And I know off the top of my head, when I've done like some sports shots, it's looked great. So definitely like using this thing. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the stuff I use for videography and photography. I'll do my best to link everything I use and put it in the description if you want to check out and look at the stuff yourself, because I definitely think you can up your game just with some of this equipment. It doesn't have to be all of it. If there's anything I were to recommend, definitely it'd be the lenses for the most part. Those prime lenses are like super good. It's a bang for your buck. And if you have a DSLR, you'll be able to get some good looking shots and just get that shallow depth of field look, which is super nice to have. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.